Hallelujah. That's right. Adore him.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Eric here. Hope everyone's doing well. It's kind of weird not to have anything on the counter right now. It's nice and clean, bare. Got some room over here. So I finally got caught up on a few things that I wanted to get done. And yeah, this video is going to be a mixture of things. And I'm also feeling a little bit generous. So stay tuned. Alright, so let's get going over here. I gotta love this stand that Blue Light Bandit sent me. Been using it for a lot with the camera, and it comes in very, very, very handy. So thanks again, Blue Light. This thing works out great. Now, like I said, this is going to be a video about a bunch of different things, and I'm feeling a little generous today. So right now, you're looking at the Joyo transmitter for wireless playing as far as guitar goes, and it also has a input in it for a wireless, or not wireless, but for a microphone and a microphone volume control over here, and then you have your basic on and off. Now, as you can see, I added a patch cord to this, and if you're asking why, this thing was getting in the way a lot, especially if you are a sit-down player, and the output jack on your guitar is on the bottom edge, not say on the top of the guitar, or it's just a bad location for this thing to be if you're playing guitar. So what I ended up doing is putting a patch cord on. Now I saved the plug that was inside here, just in case this doesn't work out the way I wanted to. I can always put the plug back on, and not a big deal. It's just a 2-wire, 2 little wires that go into the plug, and not a big deal. This is a shielded cable, so it should work out pretty good. Now, the modifications that I made for this thing is I took it apart. There is 2 boards inside of here. One has your controls on it. It has your plug is wired to that as well. And then there's a riser board inside it, which I think is the transmitter part of it. And then you have a battery that is attached to the back. Now, as you can see here, I put a little clip over here on there. The reason being is now I can sit there and plug this in and clip this onto the guitar strap itself, and it'll be out of the way of everything. And say if you're not going to have a guitar strap or whatever, well, I can clip this onto my pants, my shorts, my pocket, whatever, belt. You can clip it on almost anything, and it'll stay in place. This is real tight. Basically, there's not a lot of room in here. There's a battery that's towards the bottom, about this area here. So if you're going to end up putting in some type of a screw or a nut inside here, it would be better if you did it up on the top. And I kind of put it in this position over here to where it kind of hides it with this hump for the plug itself. But it works out pretty damn good, and I'm kind of glad I did this, because now this is no longer in the way, and having the angle plug, you have nothing really sticking out on the bottom of your guitar. And if need to be, where, say if I have like a Strat that has a indented plug on it or something, or some of the Ibanez's where the plug is on top of the body instead of being on the edge of the body, I have an adapter that I can plug this into that'll extend this a little bit longer, and it works out just great. So that's the Joyo transmitter. It's still wireless. I made a video about this a long time ago, and you know, really didn't get too many views, too many hits or whatever, but not a big deal. This is just a little update of what I've done with this so far, because I started it and I never finished it. Well, now it's finished, and I've used it and it works out great. So let's go on to something else now. Alright, so on to some bigger and better things. As you can see, this is the Ibanez. This is the SZ520 quilted maple top, and it came out nice. I mean, other than a few little problems like right here, it's got a little bit of a chip out right there. I ended up trying to fill it in with some stains that I have, and it really didn't. It came out pink. But anyways, after I buffed it, it came out pink. But anyways, you know, it's got some dings on it, as you can see over here. Not really too many chips or anything else, but scratches are basically gone. And this thing was pretty scratched up. So as you can see, she looks really good. Now, inside of all the inserts over here for the strings, there's a little bit of white that's more like chrome. There's no rubbing compound inside there. It's basically from sanding and polishing it. They were black. Now they got like a little bit of a shine ring to it. Bridge is the original bridge, original pickups. These are the Duncan Ibanez's. The only thing I don't like about what Ibanez does is they use a box switch, okay? And the box switch isn't really, you can't really take it apart. So trying to spray a little bit of cleaner inside there is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but everything else is pretty much, you know, a normal guitar. Did a fret leveling job on here, even though I thought that it didn't need it, but it had kind of like a weird sound to it, so I ended up putting, I ended up just going to town with the fret leveling, did my polishing and everything else, crowning. So now they have a nice chrome look to them. And got all the white crap out of the fretboard, which was rubbing compound, and then all the edges of the frets between the fret and the fretboard. So what I had to do with this thing is drop the nut down quite a bit after I did the fret leveling. And it was a little on the high side to begin with, not too sure what the measurements were when I first started. There was 10s on here, and I ended up putting 9s on this thing. So after I set up the guitar the first time and found that I was having some weird noises coming from the frets, I ended up you know, keeping the 9s on here and just moving them off to the side, doing my leveling. And after that, started working on the nut after I got my truss rod adjusted on here for the 12 thousandths relief that I wanted. Now, when you're adjusting your truss rod, it also changes the action at the first fret as well. So if you straighten out your truss rod a little bit, you know, you're going to drop your strings down quite a bit at the first fret, and also change your action height down at the 12th and the 17th. So headstock came out really nice, polished up really good. Tried to polish out the truss rod cover a little bit. It worked out pretty good, but there's some little deeper scratches. I have to get this, it's a plastic polish, and it works really, really good. I have to get some more of that shit. A lot of people would use it for their windscreens on their motorcycles, and it does a beautiful job as far as getting some scratches out of that and shit. So I have to get some more of it. Now, the nut action height at the first fret, like I said, I wasn't too sure what it was before I started, but after I did the leveling and got the neck relief where I wanted it, this thing was at like a 26 thousandths at the first fret. So I knocked it down all the way to 18 thousandths and with the 9s on it, and you know, no buzzing, so it works out pretty good. Action height on this thing at both low and high E string is at a 16th, so this thing should feel like butter when it's being played, and I've already played around with it, and it's very comfortable. But trying to keep it clean, you know, your grubby handprints and stuff like that, DNA or whatever, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Now this one here is made in Korea, I believe. And yeah, so you can see that everything came out really, really nice. I decided to polish out the neck instead of doing the matte sanding to it, but I polished it out anyways. Whoopee. So yeah, let's get on to some other stuff. I gotta tell you, it's pretty cool when your neighbor comes outside while their lawn service is over here cutting their grass and asks if I can do their yard as well. And I just told him no, but I gotta say that this yard striping thing is kind of nice. I like it a lot. And the only bad thing is my footprints. You can kind of see them a little bit as I'm walking too, but yeah, when that sun is on a certain angle of the yard, it really brings out the striping and looks really, really good. And you know, that's why my neighbor comes outside and asks me if I can do their lawn too. Now the other neighbor over there, he's never home and stuff, and I was helping him out. Now my yard, his yard is the same yard, but you can see that there's a kind of a difference in the color of the grass as well. But yeah, these guys here on this side, they have a yard service that comes over now and does their shit. I stopped doing it a year ago because it just got to be too much for me to take care of my yard and the neighbor's front and backyard as well. But yeah, they seen the striping and stuff as the lawnmower was cutting, and he comes outside and asks me about it and stuff, and asked me if I can go back to doing their yard and shit. It's like, nope, sorry, continue with my own. But PXN, thanks a lot for the yard striping tips and what to look for, and yeah, comes out pretty nice. Ha, you thought this was going to be another guitar playing thing, huh? Oh no, here we go again. Yep, here we go again. Alright, so this is the Ibanez RG series, and let's see here, this is the RGA 42FM Flame Maple, and this one is in the Purple Burst. Gotta love it, man. It looks fucking awesome. I like it so much that I got another one coming. The other one that I have coming, I believe, has a maple fretboard, reverse headstock, and a tremolo on it. So I think it's got the Edge 2, I think it is. That's on there, whatever. Now this one here I bought, and the seller said it was used, and you know, surely it is, it's used. So what I did find that was kind of messed up with this guitar is the neck is fucking perfect. I ain't gonna do shit with that, and it's nice and smooth. I love these Ibanez necks. But I did find a little bit here that is messed up, and I'm actually going to fix that right now. So stay with me. So some would say, but Eric, how would you fix something like that on a guitar like this? Very easily. I picked up a long time ago this little box right here. Inside this box are a shitload of markers. Now, these aren't your standard, normal, everyday marker. These are staining markers. So if you have a chip, scratch, or something in a piece of furniture, yeah, this is what's going to take care of it. Now, the bad thing about this is I need to find out what color is going to match this the best. So, let's see here. This one here is basically just a brown. This one here has a little bit of a purple tint to it. So what I need to do is I need to get piece of veneer. And I need to test out what is going to match better. So if I use this purple here, and I bring it up to that, yeah, it's going to be a little bit too dark, no? So let's go with this kind of like a reddish, not really red, but like a, maybe a pinkish tan, something like that. And, well, depending on how many times I go over this, that is going to be the color I'm going to need. So right here is a nice little scratch. It's got a nice little fine tip in one corner of it. And I'm going to get up in there and get that stain in that crack. Well, chip, whatever you want to call it. Get up in there. Wipe it off a little bit. Voila. So I get in this corner a little bit right there. It's a little bit hard. All right. Much better than what it was. But I do, however, want to get inside of there a little bit more. It's very hard with these markers. They do not have a real fine tip on it, but they do have a point to them. So trying to get in there and then not wipe off the stain is the pain. Alright, much better. Much better. Now the rest of this line you see over here, it's basically a glare, so let's see if I can get the light out of there. Yeah, see, that's a glare. Gotta love these markers. I've used them on almost everything. Furniture to... And you can get them at any, like, hardware store, or I think maybe even Walmart might have some of these in their hobby area. So that's how you get rid of that. Now, I am going to wipe, once it dries, I am going to take and wipe the stain off of the finish. See, it's still a little bit on the wet side. So once that dries and that crack, or chip out, whatever you want to call it, I will wipe it down to get rid of the excess that's on the finish itself. But I think that's a pretty good match. All right. On to bigger and better things. Alright, so I guess we're coming up towards the end of this video. And I believe I said in the beginning of the video that I was feeling quite generous. Or something like that, right? I think so. I know I said I had something that I was going to do. I wonder what it is. Well, anyways, it's not a Gibson guitar or Ibanez guitar or anything else like that. So, sorry guys, not this time. But a lot of you guys know in previous videos of mine that I've been working a lot with the Dragonfire pickups. And for one thing, they're very inexpensive. And the quality of them isn't that bad at all. I have not had one set that I had to return because there was something wrong with them or a defect or anything. And I do have a set of Dragonfire Crusaders in the red and black. I bought two sets of pickups. One set I planned on giving away if I didn't use the other. And I used the red on red in the red and black Ibanez. And I didn't use the red and black ones. So the red and black ones are now up on the chopping block. Brand new set of Dragonfires, Crusaders. And, well, let's see. There you go. Now we're centered. These guys here are kind of like a Seymour Duncan version, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And they have some pretty damn good output on them. Now these have never been wired. I have not done anything with these besides just open them up out of the package to see what they look like. Now they have all the hardware with them. So here you got your wiring. They have the red and the white ones already tacked up. Now you have a set here, so there is one neck and one bridge. So that is the Dragonfires. And this one here is the bridge. I like these guys. The out for metal, they're great. I mean, they really put out as far as metal. The screws and everything are here. The screws and the springs, so you don't have to worry anything about installing them. So there's a set of two here. Got bridge and neck. And this is what is going to be given away. Alright, so that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Now, if it looks like I'm still wearing the same clothes from the previous video, it's because it's not yet tomorrow, if you get that. Okay. Since I'm putting the video up today, hopefully, today isn't tomorrow yet. So, no need to change clothes if I haven't gone to sleep yet. Right? Does that make sense? I hope so. But anyways, for the entering of the contest for the Dragonfires, alright, that will be the next video that I put up. So in that video, not this video, but the next video, will be the entry for the Dragonfires. Post a number if you're interested, and it could be anywhere from 0 to whatever. I'm not putting a cap on it. And also my friends in Canada are also joining in on this contest as well. So hopefully everybody, hopefully everybody can get involved, and hopefully everything works out. UK, it's a little bit of a different story. I'm trying to get you guys to try to ship out stuff to you guys. It's just as bad as, trying to ship out to Canada, but a little bit worse. And I found that shipping out to the UK ends up, they want telephone numbers on the packages, which I don't think is right, because then, a lot of people could see that telephone number, but apparently for some reason they want a telephone number, your telephone number, not mine, on the package. This way, if you're not home or something, then they can get a hold of you. I guess they don't leave packages I don't know how that works, but I know last time I had a hard time. But anyways, this is getting too long, so I'm going to cut it short. Again, contest entry, next video, number in the comments. This one here, I don't care what you say, not a big deal. Have fun, enjoy, and hope everyone had a great weekend. Take care.